Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Meet Me in the Morning. My name's Austin Haynes, and I'm bringing this series to you for the next few days up until Friday. Very valuable content. This is the type of things I do in my private community, and there'll be options to connect with me if you want to continue to stay down this journey. But the one thing I'll tell you is this. Here's the one thing I want to tell you. And Rosero, I want to honor you because you've been in here every day. You've been listening, and that's the key. The key is to consciously connect. It doesn't have to be me. I'm one option for you, but there's options. Get out of the click on, click off distraction. Like dial into something that's going to help you grow. This is an ideal time to grow. It's not only because of the collective thing that's happening, but it's springtime. It's a season of change. It's a season to make some decisions. So I am reading out of the book called The Self-Reliant Entrepreneur by John Jantsch. Had an opportunity to meet the author. I've been reading this book now for the better part of maybe 4 or 5 months. And it just seems to be fitting. Everything I read here is like spot on. And today is a really great topic, seeking opinion. Seeking opinion. So settle in with me here for a few minutes. These usually take about 10 to 15 minutes, give or take, depending on your shares. But stop and take a breath, number one. Just stop and breathe. Just good Tuesday morning, brother. Thank you very much. Take a moment and breathe. Give yourself that for now. And step in, make a conscious choice to connect with this content. It will move you. I promise you. I guarantee you this information will change your life. Don't take it lightly. Click in. Be conscious, right? Everybody's clicking on, clicking off, distracted, scrolling, scanning. Make a conscious effort to do the opposite. And this is just one option to connect. So let me get into today, and then I'll have some more things to share with you about how we can connect. And I want to stay connected with you. I want to continue to pour out to you to help you grow. We're on this journey together. March 31st is called Seeking Opinion. And today, good day. How are you today, Lizzie? Lizzie, I'll get that down, I promise. Here we go. I have written freely from my own mind as I find it now formed. But how has it been formed? Or whence have I borrowed? My readers know as well as I. All that is valuable in the thoughts set forth, it is safe to assume, has been appropriated from others. Where have I been distinctly conscious of borrowing what has not become common property? I have given credit, or at least mentioned the author's name, with 3 important exceptions, which I wish to note more formally. And it's interesting today because I'm reading out of this book and I'm basically pointing out John's work to you, and John's calling out other authors and he's reflecting on it. Let me share with you what his reflection is on this. Imagine how many artists, writers, and yes, entrepreneurs fail to follow their hearts because of what others might say, how they might be judged and even ridiculed. Oh, and don't worry, you won't need to ask others for their opinions because they will freely offer them. But there's the hard part. It's natural to seek the advice of those who appear more successful or who seem to have arrived where you want to go. Where do you want to go? And you're looking up, you're listening to my content now because there's a reason for that. So let's see here. Moving on. They may indeed have full, useful advice, but they aren't you. They're not you. Imagine if you're a flute and you're trying to sound like a drum. You're going to be pretty upset with yourself. Let's continue on here. Seeking and heeding the opinions of others. Oh, wait, let me back up. They may indeed have useful advice, but they're not you. Their path worked for them. And that's the only thing that's true. Seeking and heeding the opinions of others is lazy, and it is an escape hatch. It allows you to put the brakes on your own dream because someone else said it was right or wrong, or hard or foolish. Believing that is easier than the alternative. I think there's a right way and a wrong way to seek the opinions of others, but I think what he's talking about here is the seeking of validation from others because we're not taking ownership of our own dream, our own mission, our own passion, and living it. Today, witness your thoughts about opinions offered by others. Become aware. You don't need to determine whether you agree or disagree. So someone offers you opinion, instead of going into I agree or I disagree, simply observe. And that's what he's saying here. Simply reflect. Is it true or not? You know, it's simple. So are you losing yourself in the opinions of others? I believe this is more relevant than the audience reflects. This is something that a lot of us do. We seek the opinions of others in a way for validation while we're putting our own hopes, dreams, and wishes in the back burner because somehow we want the validation of that person. We want that person to validate our dreams. That is our rhythm, our rhyme, and they're not doing it, and then we might alter who we are. Here's what I want to say to you. There's always a way to be who you truly are. There's always a way for that. But you need to disconnect from what it's supposed to look like. That's the challenging part. So the author shares here, whose approval, this is the question for the day, whose approval do you find yourself seeking the most? Why does it even matter? My life dramatically changed when I started listening to the beat of my own drum. That makes all the difference in the world. You shouldn't quit your job. You shouldn't do that. You can't make money doing that. Isn't there everyone else doing that? Everyone else is doing that. You can't do that. Go do something secure. Go do something, Get a secure paycheck. Make sure you get benefits. Make sure you take care of that. Somewhere in between. Can you guys hear me? Because Sean is saying no audio. So just let me know if you can hear me. And Lise, I got to get your name right. This is really challenging, but I like this. This is a daily challenge. I'm going to call you Lise. How's that? Lise, so content, so peaceful and at rest, present, hooked on this good feeling, trust. Let me know if you can hear me. I want to make sure Sean is hearing me here. I want you to, okay, great. Rosario has audio on his end. All right, thank you, Rosario. I want you to, somewhere in between recklessness and going out and following your passions and staying in the cocoon of what everyone else thinks you should be is the truth. Somewhere in there is the truth. Is it true or not? What is true for you? You need to know. You need to know this today. Someone needs to hear this today. There's always a way. There's always a way. Lisa. Okay, Lisa. There's always a way. There's always a way. There's always a way. There's always a way. There's always a way, even if you can't see the road right now. Your brain, here's what's going on. Your brain is obsessed about seeing the road when the road is not supposed to be seen right now. What is supposed to be done is you're supposed to take a step in the direction of your highest aspirations, but you've been hypnotized into believing that this is all there is, or you're supposed to take this certain way. I share this in my live events, but if you go to an artist's studio, let's say a painter, and you go into the studio and you go into the artist's studio and the artist is working in the studio, what does that studio look like? Ask yourself this question. What does that art studio look like? Do you walk in there and the artist is working and everything's neatly put away, all the paint there's no paint anywhere, it's just a work of art in the middle of the room? Or is it a mess? I would say most art studios where there's paint involved is a mess. But at the end of the day, you have a work of art. Are you willing to embrace uncertainty? Are you willing to embrace the uncertainty of what's happening right now and trust? Trust that there's a road for you to go down. There's always a way, even if you can't see it today. I want you to really embrace what I'm saying here today, because the content laid out here, people have been hypnotized and controlled into believing that they have to be a certain way for someone else. And it's smothering them. It's smothering their dreams. It's smothering their true heart's intent. It's smothering the direction that they know they're supposed to go down. So if you feel discontent, congratulations. You know why? Because if you feel discontent, it's your soul saying that there's something more for you to do. So the discontent, you can be upset about the discontent, or you can observe the discontent and go, there it is. There's a reason for that. I'm going to turn it into art. And I'm going to be willing to make a mess. And I'm going to be willing to throw paint all over the walls. And I'm going to be willing to get my clothes all dirty. But at the end of the day, I will have a beautiful work of art. Because the world never sees the studio. The world never sees the hours of sacrifice, of passion, of messiness. You know, and I think of Van Gogh. Van Gogh, right? Van Gogh, for what is it? The better part of 10 years. 10 years painting, messy, mental illness, cutting his own ear off. You know, all the craziness. But he followed the beat of his own drum. And he didn't sell his first painting for like 10 years. You know, I'm going to close this now. I want this to move your heart. I want this to stir you up. I want you to do something different. I want you to open up and say, there is a way for me. There is a way, and I believe it in my heart. And I'm going to figure it out. And I want you to stay connected with me. But I'm going to leave you with this question. What does it mean to live a full life? What does it mean to live? Hello, Anilda. What does it mean to live a full life? I want you to consciously connect with me. So I'm making it easy. I know some people have been doing this. So this is going to run until Friday. I'm going to be reading out of this book here. Tomorrow's topic, we're moving into April. And April brings the great writer Nathaniel Hawthorne. And he says, to do nothing is the way to nothing. That's exciting. I'm very excited, Lisa. I'm launching my own business. It's in the process. Very exciting. So to do nothing is the way to be nothing. Okay. Profound, right? Profound. So the next topic is going to be entrepreneur as a poet.